Now I'm going to introduce group functions in subquery. If I say select star from employees, okay. Now I'm going to introduce a group function. Select min. You remember min. Then I'm going to supply the salary column to it. So what am I saying? I am saying tell me the minimum salary. Select min salary from employees. Then I terminate. If I run this, look at. So it's telling me that the minimum salary of all the employees is 2,100. So who is earning that kind of salary? Look at this. Now you look at this now. I don't know the minimum salary. So how do I get the minimum salary? I can just come here. Order by salary. So what I'm saying is that give me this same output, but this time around, arrange it using the salary column. And I told you before that the default arrangement, the default sorting is always in ascending. It's going to go from the lowest to the highest. That is the default. But if you want to go from the highest to the lowest, then you have to now specify by putting the descending keyword. So it's ascending. With this now, I'll be able to tell the lowest salary will stay at the top. So I'll just run this now. Can you see? The lowest salary is 2,100. And look at the employee. So this query automatically gives me that. I want to know the lowest salary. I will just say select min salary from employees. And I will call it. So it's telling me. Do you understand? Now, I want to write a query that will display employee's last name, job ID, and salary of all employees whose salary is equals to the minimum salary. Definitely it's going to show me just one row. It's going to show me just one row. So to write that query, say write a query that will display the last name, the job ID, and the salary of all employees whose salary is equals to the minimum salary. So I will just say select last name, last underscore name, comma, job underscore ID, comma, salary, right? From, let me bring it down. From employees. Where salary equals to minimum salary. Let me space this. So now, for me to say select last name, job ID, salary from employees, where salary equals to minimum salary, then I have to find out the minimum salary. So to know the minimum salary, I have to now write a subquery that will say select min salary from employees. So this my query here, I will just copy this my query, select min salary from employees. I will just copy it and I will put it inside here. And I will close it. Then N. See, this is my subquery. Select min salary from employee. So this one will give me this output, 2,100. Then I will now have to check all the people that are earning this salary. But from what it is, it's just one person. So if I execute this, see, it's just going to give me one row. So this is the only employee that is earning the minimum salary. Assuming you have many people that are earning this, then to show you. If I want to show the rest people, other than this employee, I will just say select last name, job ID, salary from employees, where salary is greater. Here I will say greater than minimum salary. So it's now going to show me 106 employees because those ones are earning salary greater than 2,100. So when I execute this, it will show me 106 employees. So execute. See, first 50, scroll down. Now 106. Do you understand? So I'm introducing using group functions in subquery. Then I can also now introduce a subquery in the having clause. You see, we have used it in the where clause. Now I want to use it in the having clause. And you cannot use it in the having clause unless you have a group function. So here now, I want to introduce it in the having clause. So I can now say, okay, let's assume that we have different departments, right? And these different departments, they have different employees, and each of the employees have different salaries. So let's take, for example, we have. See, I'm going to write. Look at this. We have department 50, 30. Okay, let me change this one. Order by department ID, so that you'll be able to. You see, I'm always changing my query to give me the output that I'm looking for. So order by department ID. So I have department 10, department 20. This one now, I'm arranging the output based on department ID. Department 10, department 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, we have plenty people in 50. Okay, let's do this. Now I'm going to write a query. In this department 50 that you are looking at, you have so many employees in department 50, and they are earning different salary. First and foremost, I want to find out the minimum salary in department 50. Then look at the minimum salary of each department. And then I will compare them to the minimum salary of department 50. So what I want to bring out as my output is, give me all the departments that have minimum salary that is greater than department 50. So to achieve that, I have to bring in the having clause, because you can't use where clause to filter a group function. So to filter a group function, you have to use having clause. So that is it. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to say, select department ID. I'm going to delete this. Select department underscore ID, comma. Then I will now say mean. I'll call the minimum salary. Salary. I'm supplying the department salary to it. So what I'm saying here now is, by virtue of putting this department ID here, it means that I'm going to introduce a group by clause. Because I told you in that training that the moment you have another column that is not in the group function, you must have a group by clause. That means you are going to group this group function based on that column. So with this now, it means that I am going to find out minimum salary based on department ID. I will be grouping each department together before I find the minimum salary of each department. So select department ID, mean salary, from employees, right? Then group by, I'll call that column that is there, group by department ID, which is this. If I don't introduce this group by clause, it will throw me an error. So this department ID is not inside this main function. So I'm going to group it by it. So group by department ID. Then I'm now going to introduce that my having clause from employees, group by department ID, having. Now, having is used for this. So I'm going to say having mean salary. I'm going to explain. Greater than. Then here now I'm now going to introduce my subquery. So I will say, I introduce my subquery. Select mean salary from employees, where department underscore ID, I will explain, equals to 50. Then I will terminate here. So I can bring this down if I want. Select mean salary from. I can bring this down just to make it readable. And then I can bring this down. Yeah. So what am I saying? I am saying select department ID, mean salary from employees, group by department ID, having mean salary greater than then my subquery. So what is my subquery going to do? Select mean salary from employees where department ID equals to 50. So this my subquery is going to give me the person that is earning the minimum salary in department 50. Now that answer will now be given to this. So let me run this inner query for you to see the output. Who is earning the minimum salary, and what is that minimum salary? Look at the minimum salary in department 50 is 2,100. So this answer will now be supplied here. So it will do from employees, group by department ID. It will now group all departments. Then it will now apply the minimum salary to it. For each department, it will bring out minimum salary. Now, any department that the minimum salary is greater than 2,100, that is what it will return to me as my output. Watch. Look at department ID 10, 100. The mean salary is 6,900. Is greater than 2,100. Look at all of them. Now I can now also come here. I can come here and say, order by, which is the final query, order by department ID. I'm saying arrange my output by department ID. I'll terminate. So to arrange it, look at the way it scattered it. I want it to arrange it by department ID. Now, can you see my output? It's going to put down null at the bottom. So look at department 10. The minimum salary is 4,400. It's higher than department 50. Minimum salary of department 20 is 6,000. Minimum salary of department 30 is 2,500. So you can see all these departments are having their minimum salary higher than the minimum salary of department 50. That is what this is. So you can see that I have introduced my subquery inside having clause. I have also introduced it inside where clause. As we go on, we will also see it introduced inside from clause.